everyone, my name is Lavanyakothiyal of class 10th B and today I am going to talk about the topic management of natural resources. So let's start. Natural resources. Natural resources are those resources that are available in nature like air, water, sunlight, soil, minerals, forests, wildlife, etc. They are of two types, renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Renewable resources, these can be easily replenished in a short period of time. Example, air, water, sunlight, forests, etc. Non-renewable resources, these cannot be replenished in a short period of time. Example, coal, petroleum, natural gas, metals, etc. They take millions of years to be formed. These are some examples of renewable resources and non-renewable resources. The 3 R's to save environment. The 3 R's to save the environment are reduce, recycle and reuse. Reduce, it means to minimize the use of various products that are obtained directly or indirectly from natural resources. Example, we should save electricity by switching off unnecessary lights and fans. Recycle, this involves the processing of things that are considered waste and turns them into useful products. Example, the articles that are made of recycled plastics, glass, paper or metal. Reuse, this means to use things again and again. This method is better than recycling as this process of recycling uses some amount of energy. Example, use of cloth napkins instead of paper napkins. Sustainable development. It is the process of development that sustains natural systems and their yields, which can be maintained or managed for a long time without any damage to the environment. The concept of sustainable development encourages growth that meets current basic human needs while preserving the resources for the needs of future generations. Need for management of natural resources. Due to increase in population, industrialization and urbanization, the demand for natural resources is increasing and their availability is limited. So we need a proper management of all this. We can maintain it through following: judicious use of natural resources and avoiding wastage of natural resources. Long-term planning for the use of natural resources so that it lasts not only for present but also for future generations. The exploitation of natural resources shouldn't be for the benefit of few people but should be distributed equally for all. While extracting and using natural resources, we should also plan for safe disposal of wastes so that no damage is caused to the environment. Forests. Importance of forests. It helps to preserve biodiversity. It helps to maintain ecological balance. It helps to control climate and rainfall. It helps to prevent soil erosion. It also provides us with timber, wood, fuel, medicines, fodder, etc. Stakeholders of forests. Stakeholders of forests are those people living in or around forests as they depend on various forest products for their livelihood. The forest department, which is the owner of the forest land. Various industrialists who depend on forest for many raw materials. The wildlife and nature enthusiasts. Conservation of forests. By controlling over forest fires, regulated and planned cutting of trees, afforestation, that is planting more trees, soil erosion has to be stopped completely, setting up of wildlife sanctuaries, biosphere reserves, national parks, etc., where we can save our biodiversity, preventing overgrazing by cattle. These are some rules by which we can conserve our forests. Wildlife. Wildlife plays an important role in balancing our environment. Wildlife strike a balance in the various natural processes of our nature. The importance of wildlife is as follows. It helps us to preserve biodiversity. It helps to maintain food chains and food webs. We get useful products from wildlife like food, medicines, leather, bones, honey, lac, etc. And here are some pictures that we get from our wildlife like honey, leather, and bones. Conservation of wildlife. Wildlife conservation refers to the practice of protecting wild species and their habitats in order to maintain healthy wildlife species or populations and to store, protect, or enhance natural ecosystems. Wildlife can be conserved by following: developing protective areas such as national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, or biosphere reserves to protect the animals in their natural habitat. The endangered and vulnerable species can be kept in captivity in places such as zoos and bred to increase their population. The cutting of forests should be strictly prohibited. It is an abode of a variety of wild animals. Hunting of wild animals should be banned. Also, the poaching of wild animals should be banned. Uses of water. We use water in our everyday life. Water is an inorganic, transparent, tasteless, odorless, and nearly colorless chemical substance which is the main constituent of Earth's hydrosphere and the fluids of all known living organisms. It is vital for all known forms of life, even though it provides no calories or organic nutrients. Water is used in homes for drinking, cooking food, washing utensils, cleaning floor, brushing teeth, bathing, washing clothes, flushing toilets, and watering plants. These are all the uses of water. Water is also used in agriculture for growing crops and food. Water is needed to grow all organisms. Water is used in homes for drinking, cooking food, washing utensils, cleaning floor, brushing teeth, bathing, washing clothes, etc. Water is used in agriculture for growing food also. Water is needed to grow all kinds of crop plants which provide us food. Dams. Advantages of dams are: these are the main source of power generation. These projects control the floods because water can be stored in them. These projects have converted many rivers of sorrows into rivers of boon. These projects are main source of irrigation and also help in conserving soil. Disadvantages of dams are: dams also fragment rivers, making it difficult for aquatic fauna to migrate for spawning, that is, to produce eggs. It resulted in displacement of local communities. The multi-purpose projects induced earthquakes, caused waterborne diseases. This is a dam. Water harvesting. Water harvesting is a collection and storation of water for future use. That is, collecting and storing of water, rainwater for future use. The common methods of water harvesting are digging pits, ponds, lakes, etc., building small earthen dams or concrete check dams, construction of dikes, construction of reservoirs, construction of rooftops, collecting units in houses. Advantages of underground water: it doesn't evaporate easily, it spreads out and recharges wells, it provides moisture for irrigation of crops, it doesn't get polluted easily, it doesn't provide breeding ground for mosquitoes and houseflies. These were some advantages of underground water. This is rainwater harvesting, that how it is done. Different methods of rainwater harvesting, like here we can make lakes or ponds or simply dig pits. Coal and petroleum. Coal. It is a hard rock which can be burned as a solid fossil fuel. It is mostly carbon but also contains hydrogen, sulfur, oxygen, and nitrogen. It is a sedimentary rock formed from peat by the pressure of rocks laid down later on top. Coal is primarily used as a fuel. While coal has been known and used for thousands of years, its usage was limited prior to the Industrial Revolution. With the invention of the steam engine, coal consumption increased. Coal remains an important fuel as it supplied about a quarter of the world's primary energy and two-fifths of electricity. Some iron and steel making and other industrial processes burn coal. Petroleum. It is a naturally occurring liquid found beneath the earth's surface that can be refined into fuel. Petroleum is a fossil fuel, meaning that it has been created by the decomposition of organic matter over millions of years. Petroleum reserves may last for about 40 years. It includes not only crude oil but all liquid, gaseous, and solid hydrocarbons. Under surface pressures and temperature conditions, lighter hydrocarbons like methane, ethane, propane, and butane exist as gases, while pentane and heavier carbon hydrocarbons are in the form of liquids or solids. However, in an underground oil reservoir, the proportions of gas, liquid, and solid depend on subsurface conditions and on the phase diagram of the petroleum mixture. This is coal. On left hand side you can see example of coal, and on right hand side it is petroleum. Acid rain formation. Acid rain or acid deposition is a broad term that includes any form of precipitation with acidic components such as sulfuric or nitric acid that fall to the ground from the atmosphere in wet or dry forms. This can include rain, snow, fog, hail, or even dust that is acidic. So we should never go outside in acid rain. This is acid rain formation due to toxic gases like SO2 and NO2. It gets formed. This is the effect of acid rain on Taj Mahal. Here you can see before and after picture of Taj Mahal. It used to be shiny before, and when acid rain poured on it, it became a pale yellowish colored. Global warming. Due to global warming, there is rise in sea level and melting, and here you can see rise in sea level and melting of polar ice. Thank you.